It's hard to imagine what your favourite film would look like without good editing. It can be punctual, rhythmic. It can be in your face. A film can live or die by the edit. Since the inception of film, it's played an important role. And while the process of editing itself has changed quite a bit over the years, one thing still holds true. The editing room is where cinema gets its magic. Hi, I'm making a game where you play as a film director in the 20s. In the game, you'll be tasked to document the development of a small town in South Australia. You'll do everything from filming to screening, and along the way, meet the many characters of Port Alastair. While still early days, the game's core features are taking shape. For instance, the last few weeks I've tasked myself with making editing fun. Previously, you could edit what you've filmed in an editing bay menu. This simply wasn't good enough. Besides being clumsy and difficult to maneuver, it is not at all representative of how editing worked in the 20s. So without further ado, let me introduce you to how editing currently works. This is where the magic happens. Film that's been developed will appear on the shelf directly to your left. Once you pick it up, you can begin editing. I usually start by taking it to the projector. There, you can mark it for where you want to cut. Take it to the scissors and you'll make the cut. You can then store or bin any clips that you don't need in the moment. I'm going to take my clip and place it in the splicer, where I have another, and boom! It's ready to watch. It was a lot of fun modelling the room, especially the projector. I did a lot of research on what projectors looked like in the 20s. I tried my best at creating one that would fit in with what I found. I did the same with the splicer and the lightbox shelves. When it came time to make the rubbish bin, I modelled it with the same technique of researching and finding reference. I spent way too long on finding the perfect bin to use as inspiration. I probably wasted 10 minutes searching and looked at different bins from the 20s before someone pointed out to me that it's a bin. I don't need to spend this much effort and time on recreating what is essentially a bucket for trash. I learnt a valuable lesson. The amount of time and effort I put into something should be proportional to how important it is. This may sound obvious, and although it may well be, I doubt it'll be the last time I get caught up in an arduous process for what is essentially trash. However, at least I'll be a little better at noticing the signs. Another concession I've had to make is between realism and fun. In the real world, what you film was recorded as a negative. So essentially, in the case of black and white film, the blacks are white and the whites are black. After being developed in pure darkness, it was then contact printed onto what is called an interpositive. The interpositive would be edited together, and then an internegative would be made once again through contact printing. That would then be copied for the release prints. While an essential part of making a movie, it is the most tedious and joyless part, so I've decided to follow the rule of fun. Instead of developing the film yourself, you'll hand it over to someone to develop for you. They'll take the camera, disappear for a second, then give them back with the interpositive reels. From the makers of Low Poly Man and Low Poly Woman comes Low Poly Dog. Experience dog in all of its low fidelity glory. Complete with sit and lie feature. Now Low Poly Dog can relax when it's not following its owner. Get yours today. That's a good boy. That's right, there is now a dog in my game. This is definitely an example of utilizing my time well. It's a great addition. He'll follow around his owner and then sit or lie next to them. I've also been working on the camera. Now it looks pretty accurate to how footage looked at the time. You've got two cameras, a larger camera on a tripod that uses 35mm film, and a small handheld 16mm camera, which looks worse, but offers more movement options. You can change the speed of the camera and film up to 16 times slower in case you want to film a time-lapse. You can zoom and draw focus as well. I'm almost thinking drawing focus will be optional, so you can play without having to worry about it if you don't want to, but the option will always be there for those who do. Other than that, I've added a day and night system, a routine system for the non-player characters, a landscape material for the environment, and that's about caught up. Moving forward, I'd like to work on improving the NPC's AI, giving them more to do and making their behaviour more complex. I'd also like to make it so you can export your film so you can upload it to YouTube. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any suggestions, and as always, have a nice day.